Ready?
Done, Bob?
Yeah. All right, we'll call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Stonemeyer,
Here.
Kiesling,
Here.
Linkhammer. Here. Miller,
Here.
Reich.
Here. We'll start with citizen input. I apologize. We would have reconfigured the room had there been time to change the audio around and move seats. We had a meeting run late. So if you have citizen input, if you're here for Oxford Squad, you'll be able to speak during when that agenda item comes up. Anyone else address the council, if you just stand where you're at, this microphone should pick you up. Just give your name and address for the record. Yeah, you should be fine.
Dale Line 17291 Asbury Road. On Sunday, July 14th at 7:45 in the morning, I was driving through Asbury. And I was kind of shocked when I saw a John Deere side-by-side zipping through Asbury Park. And I went around and did a little investigation on it. Here I found out it was owned by the city of Asbury, and in a little more investigation, I found out it was purchased in March of 2018. And it appears that Asbury has been successful in their own right in operating side-by-sides in. And of course, we side-by-side people would like that same opportunity. And then I got to thinking what Bob Rush had said one time about getting the side-by-sides up into Asbury so people could actually see them and see what they are all about and bring them up on it. And that gave me an idea of what Dyersville and Piasta had done. And initially they had came up with very restricted ordinances and how to test the waters on it, so to say. And today what I'm proposing is that Asbury consider an ordinance that would be for weekends and legal holidays, anyhow, starting Labor Day weekend through the end of the year, on Saturdays and Sundays from 7 to 4. And just to try it out, anyhow. This way, somehow we've got to get the people over their fear of this. And we would really like the opportunity to trickle our units into town so people could actually see who we are. You know, when we've tried to get ordinances in the past, that was things about what UTV people are. We're not anywhere near that. We're not out to hit babies and strollers. And we're not out to cause trouble. We're people that enjoy life in the slow lane at 35 miles an hour. And we just want the opportunity to come into Asbury and show us what we're all about. Thank you.
Anyone else address the council?
Kevin Haynes, 2100 Messina Court. I can't see why we wouldn't give it a try. I mean, we like to stay on the radar. We'd sure like to give this a proposal. See what will happen. Because it always seems to keep coming up, and I think it's probably the only way it's going to get put down if it doesn't work. But at least we try.
All right, so anyone on Zoom, you should be able to unmute yourself if you want to address the council during citizens input.
Sarah, Jeremy, and
There is a citizen there. So. All right, then I will move on to consent agenda. Council, anything else for separate discussion? Do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second for consent agenda. Call roll, please.
Stonemeyer,
Aye.
Kiesling,
Aye.
Linkhammer. Aye. Miller.
Aye.
Reich.
Aye. Consent agenda is approved 5-0. Move on to new business versus Duke County Library update. Yeah, have a seat. Might be a minute. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm Amanda Sand. I'm the director of Dubuque County Library District, and Beth invited me here to give you an update on the statistics for the library. We just finished our fiscal year, as you did as well, and we had some exceptional statistics that I'm very excited to report to you. Our Q4 statistics and our FY24 statistics were included as these kind of chart graphs here. This is what we present to our board on a quarterly basis, and they compare year over year statistics. So just to highlight some of our exceptional statistics for FY24 over FY23, we saw a there we go. Thanks, Beth. We saw a 13% increase in our total checkouts year over year, and you can see that most of that gain is in Asbury in the red bars. We saw a 21% increase in our usage of our digital content, so ebook and audiobook downloads. A 29% increase in our visits, also again, primarily in our Asbury branch. And we do not have program statistics for the full year. But looking at our Q4 statistics for programs, it's the fourth. It's not the first one on the second page. Beth, if you would scroll down, sorry. We saw a 99% increase in attendees with 20 fewer programs in Q4, which is just like, I don't know, we were all kind of gobsmacked. We triple checked the numbers because we thought they had to be wrong. We benefited from several high attendance programs. For example, one of the very first programs that we held here at the Asbury branch was a bubble bonanza, and we had about 200 attendees at that, just doing bubble activities out on the pavilion in the back. We held Bluey parties that were exceptionally popular. We had 300 attendees at 2 Bluey parties, one here at Asbury and one at Epworth. I don't know if any of your tiny human friends are into Bluey, but it's extremely popular. Blaine's nodding his head. It's an adorable show. I highly recommend it. And my kids are all teenagers at this point. But we had an exceptional Q4. It was fantastic. And extra huge shout out to the library staff. For most of Q4, we were without a children's librarian. So our community outreach librarian, Lydia, who's working the desk right now, and our storytime specialist picked up a ton of slack. Our storytime specialist picked up a lot of extra hours so that we could continue to offer children's programs during summer reading this year. And you can see from this, the second set of green bars, the first one, it says kids programs, but it's, programs and attendees, sorry. You can see that we had just huge numbers of attendees at all of our children's programs this year. So if we could go to the bigger PowerPoint presentation. I'm not going to go through every single slide that is included here. I had put together a presentation just like this for one of our other member cities, and so I'm glad to be able to repurpose it here. Here you can see 5 years of historical data. So across the whole district, you can see how our visits dropped dramatically from COVID. There are actually a few months where there is no data because we were closed, and we've been making a long incline back up to pre-pandemic levels. If you go to the next slide, we'll see the Asbury visits on their own. June is often our highest month, but these are our Asbury visits alone. And you can see that in this past summer of 2024, we exceed our 2019 numbers, which 2019 had been our best year to date. So I don't know, I'm thrilled, really. And if you scroll down next to our circulation data, you can see how Asbury makes up as the biggest portion. Dark blue at the bottom is the largest portion of our circulations. And again, this is month by month. So you can see the peaks in, June, July coming back down. But over the last 3 years, because we only have 3 years of this data because we switched our circulation software at that point. You can see it's going on, up. I also did a little bit of comparison here. So we often look at our usage as an entire library district. And one thing that I've been trying to do more recently is to compare the communities that our branches are in to other similarly sized communities. So while we do have all of rural Dubuque County that also utilizes our 5 branches, that's true of every county in the state. Every county contracts for library service, so their users are using municipal libraries as well. So while Asbury's average circs in FY '23 were just over 4,000, a little over 4,500 this year. And are just trailing a little bit behind our average size E library. A size E library is between 5 and 10,000 population. So Asbury would be kind of at the lower end population wise. So I think that being within 162 of the average is encouraging. I also included information about our open hours. And Asbury has on average 9 more hours per week than your average size E library. If you want to go down a bit. We also look at how the population is relative to usage. So Asbury's population is 18.9% of the library district's total service population, but makes up 28% of our checkouts and 30% of our downloads. So we do see that Asbury users, and this is based on where people live, not where they're using the library. So folks who have an Asbury address specifically make up an outsized portion of our usage of the library. Also, we have 6,000 active patrons that have selected Asbury as their home branch. That would be anyone who's registered as a library user. Out of our 9,200, 6,000 of those use Asbury primarily. But that would be across the entire district and include open access patrons like folks who live on the west end of city of Dubuque. Here I just noted how our distribution of programs is across all of our branches. And this one, Asbury is actually the light blue at the top. And as you'll see, we went September through January without a teen and adult librarian, and then May through July without a children's librarian. So while the number of programs is a little lower than last summer, like I said, we were without staff. So we did what we could, and attendance bore out. People were still excited. And here's just a comparison of all of our branches for the number of programs. Asbury has on average, it's behind the 35%, no, sorry, 19, on average 19 programs a month. That's lower than the average per month or the 50th percentile of size E's. But our patrons have a lot of other opportunities for programs, whether that's at the city of Dubuque, whether it's at Piasta, Epworth, Farley, or Holy Cross. And again, program attendance, June just like jumps right out at us. There are just so many attendees. Again, Asbury is and this one, Asbury is the dark blue at the bottom. It's a little bit goofy, and here's Asbury's attendance just by itself. And then I did a little bit of a financial comparison. And this will never be apples to apples comparisons. I pulled all of this data from the State Library of Iowa's statistics. They publish a big book of statistics every year. It's well over 100 pages. I love the day when they announce that the new fiscal year's data is available. Asbury's library service cost. So only what your city pays to the library district for us to provide library services was $199,000. This is exclusive of any cost for the building, for maintenance of the building, utilities, all the other things that the city provides to us here. But by comparison, on average, a size E library is contributing about $384,000 for their city. And these are both FY23 numbers. And next slide. Turns out I'm a liar. I am going through all of the slides. This is just a comparison of how many items are available, circulation, or maybe not circulations, but collection comparison. And on average, Asbury's library physically is a larger space than your average size E library, which we really appreciate. But very much on par with other libraries. We have fewer physical items in Asbury, but we do have a floating collection. And those 75,000 items are available within a day or two to be here for your patrons. So.
Great, any questions or comments?
Do you feel that the attendance for the children's programs outweigh the adults, or is it kind of even?
I would say we definitely have more children's program attendees. Partly that's because we just offer more children's programs than programs for teens and adults. And that's fairly standard. We have one full-time children's librarian. Actually, we will have a full-time children's librarian on Tuesday. She starts on Tuesday. And a part-time storytime specialist who does story times for us at all of our branches. And we have one staff member who does teen and adult programs. Our adults tend to be, adult programs tend to have fewer attendees overall. I think a lot of times kids are coming to programs that their parents want them to come to be active and involved, and parents don't often make that time for themselves. Speaking from experience. And I think just the types of programs that adults are interested in are just really different than kind of your weekly story times or your monthly craft club, or not that we don't do craft club, but it's just a different landscape for attendance.
But you have a lot of them. I mean, I see it in the TH, they have, I think it's every Monday, free for all.
Mhm.
And I wrote down a couple of them, the magic show, trivia night, gardening 101, which we went to, which was very informative. Summer craft, professional organizations. I mean, it's just phenomenal. I just want to say thank you for being an asset to our community. I think it's a plus for us.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think the numbers are, speak for your staff and your leadership. They couldn't be happier. I really love seeing the cell phone one where you paired high school kids with people Bob's age, like senior citizens. But it was so cool to see the interaction, and both sides of the table were just so engaged. But here every day I get to see the traffic and see the things, and he made a comment about my golf, so.
Oh, okay. So it's good. Okay.
But no, sincerely, it is, we very much appreciate the work you do, and the numbers certainly, don't hold true to what most cities have to pay.
We are, very lucky to have the staff members that we do. We're really benefiting from some new staff members and all of the creativity that they are bringing to our community. And it's really shown off in our statistics. So.
Well, there was some hesitation at the time when we talked about this building and the library and all the commitment that we had to make, and an ongoing commitment, right? I hope anybody that was hesitant then is, feeling better about that decision. Anything else from council? All right, thank you for taking her on.
Thank you.
All right, next agenda item is resolution 116-2024. The resolution approving pay app number 6 for the Autumn Drive reconstruction. Oh, I'm sorry, I jumped. That's right. Access Grotto. Sorry, guys, you're here. You can address the council right now if you'd like. Thank you. Sorry. No, yeah, I missed it.
I'll move up here where you can hear me a little better.
Thank you.
My name is Sam Phipps. I live at 16501 Clay Hill Road in Butte. I'm a member and officer of the Access Grotto. The reason I'm here to speak tonight is a couple of months ago, we received a breakdown for the assessment of the Autumn Drive construction project that's going on at this present time. It was broken down into 3 categories: the roadway, the driveway, and the sewer. At that, we suggested a meeting. At that meeting, we met with city administrator, city engineer, and the mayor. At that meeting, we were informed that the driveway portion of that assessment was not supposed to be on there, which took it down to 2 different categories: the roadway and the sewer project. We are in compliance with, or we agree with, the sewer assessment since we pay for sewer. But we have a question regarding the roadway section. A few years ago, the Access Grotto entered into an agreement with the city of Asbury to allow an easement along our property which is now called Sanibel Lane, for access into Chloe Park. And the city also, with that agreement, constructed a parking lot on the west side of our building. And the city is in charge of maintenance for both the roadway and the parking lot, of which they've done a great job. We have no complaints with that. Snow removal, we really like that. But we do have a problem with the roadway section. We don't agree with that. And we feel like we're asking for a waiver of that portion of the assessment. Reason being, the city engineer gave us a plat of the thing. If you haven't seen it, I can pass it around, you can see. But we're only affected by 56 feet. The amount of that is $2,238.09. And we're asking that be waived. On the west side of our property, right at the intersection of Sanibel Lane and Autumn, where it makes a little left turn or right turn, whichever way you're going, there is a driveway going north. And we've been informed that is a City of Asbury easement, which we were informed they are not assessed anything for this project that's going on. And we kind of question why we are when we're only talking 56 feet. We had a meeting with Beth and Nate, 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago. Yeah, a week and a half ago. And we talked about the roadway or Sanibel Lane. What was our intentions for that? And we decided at that meeting that we wanted to leave it just like it is. We did not want to deed that property to the city. And that's basically, I think the question was, is that what our intentions are? Which, no, it isn't. We just like to keep our property. And the city of Asbury has done a great job, as I said, maintaining that roadway and everything else. And we're asking that you waive that section of the assessment.
Any questions? Bring back to council for discussion.
Question of the 56.96 feet, how much is that? Is that part of that include the roadway that comes off of Sanibel, or is that portion between Sanibel and the end of the property?
It's interpreted to me as basically right away along for Autumn Drive right away, the way that it's platted out. And I actually have the drawing here with.
So all I'm saying, what I was getting at is if I took 37 feet of the street away from that, is the remaining 20 feet, is that what?
The 20 feet goes back east toward that driveway. That's an easement.
Okay.
So for Dave, looking at this, is this approximately,
Right
this
there.
is the area of the 50?
It would be actually right here. So
Here.
there's 20 feet from this point. So this is City of Asbury, this rectangular lot.
Right.
There's 20 feet from here to here, and then the remainder is from here to here.
Goes right across
The road that we have access for our access.
And
Okay.
it's, you know,
Right across the roadway.
setting up the assessment, this is basically what I interpret as the, frontage along Autumn Drive would be this line, here at the end of my pen. So that's.
So Nate, how far in are you going when you make the new curve on there?
So it is the new Autumn Drive, center line will be coming this way some, pulled this way. We actually, the city had acquired a part of this property here to make that possible. Just because of the extreme angle of the turn on the existing Autumn Drive, it's gonna
So the
match.
western portion of that's not affected by that. It's the eastern
But
curve
it's-
on that.
Interpreted still as basically the frontage for Autumn Drive, for all intents and purposes.
Okay, it's just a point of order, so we've taken it back to council for discussion, so just be council discussion at this point, they've. Yeah, no more questions for. All right,
Okay, so Nate,
Beth, could you rotate that and expand it?
so Nate, just show me where the start of the 56 is and the end of the 56 is.
Can you hide that other box too?
So the portion we're talking about for the 56 feet. There you go. Is from here. And it comes up. And then it turns to this point here. So there's. 20
Basically,
feet here.
it's all, in my mind, it's basically all the road, which is what we have the access to and gives us access to all of our facilities. My opinion is we should waive it. Because it's basically all the frontage on the road, it's the road, right? But the majority of that 56 feet is the road,
Literally the road.
literally the road.
Yeah, I mean, the way it is the road is on their property. Via an easement, but it's still their property. So that,
I
Yes, yes,
understand,
that's-
I understand,
I'm just trying to speak technically.
nope, I actually understand.
Have we ever come to an agreement with, and in the beginning with the Oxus Gravel that they would not be assessed for this?
No, I mean, the assessment policy says the assessment goes to the property owner. This is an unusual situation in that we have an easement access also, that's pretty much a unique situation.
I think since we have the easement access over the majority of it, and it-
Yeah.
after you, if you take that out of there, the small amount that's left would be, to my mind. That's my opinion.
Motion to that effect?
I'll make a motion that we waive the roadway charge of $2,238.09.
I'll second.
Motion second to waive the special assessment for the road portion only. Discussion.
Just so council understands, even though we are waiving it at this point in time, nothing's going to be final until we do the final assessments at the end of the project. So at the end of the project, this will be part of the calculation to decrease. They had like the $7,000 assessment. We'll take out the driveway, we'll take out the roadway, and that will still leave them with the sewer easement.
So you're saying that it's gonna be percentage wise incorporated into that?
The final calculation will be done at the final assessment.
All right.
At that time, the waiver will be applied. Any
Okay.
discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and
Thank you guys.
we greatly appreciate the cooperation.
All right, now we can move on to 116 to 2024 resolution approving pay app number 6 for the Autumn Drive reconstruction project.
Yeah, brief update on that is things have been moving quite a bit better lately, especially since it's bone dry now. Water main, they've got maybe a week's worth of work to do, and then storm sewer, maybe another week worth, I'd say about a couple weeks of nice weather, and they'll be getting closer to starting the core out process. So we're getting closer to finally seeing things get put back together here. With that being said, pay application number 6 for Eastern Iowa Excavating is in the amount of $251,796.81. And that includes mainly a portion of the water main, storm sewer, and then also some restoration and erosion control items. Unless any of you have questions, we're full of this pay request.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 116 of 2024.
I'll second it.
Motion second, any discussion? Call roll.
Billmeyer,
Aye.
Kiesling,
Aye.
Linkhammer,
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Right.
That's approved 5-0. Resolution 117-2024, a resolution approving pay app number 5 for the Forest Hills Wetland Improvements Project.
Yeah, so as I had echoed at a previous meeting, right now, there's no work being completed over at that site. We're just waiting until the seating window opens back up here in the fall to hit a few spots that need attention with some reseeding. With that being said, the dollar amount on pay app number 5 is $16,723.61, and this is all just a portion of restoration that was completed by Eastern Iowa subcontractor. Unless you have any questions, we would recommend approval of this pay request.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 117 of 2024.
Second. Motion second, discussion.
Yeah, Nate, what if the seating doesn't take this time? Do we have any recourse?
I mean, the project will still be under warranty. There's a 2-year warranty period on this project, which would kick off from substantial completion, which in my mind, substantial completion has been met. So it'd still be about 2 years.
2-year windows. We got a year and a half. Okay.
To Bob's point though, if the seating doesn't take, do we seat again?
Yeah, I mean,
For another window?
for the most part, at Forest Hills, the seating is great. I'd say 95% of the site. There's just a small section that had some issue with the washout, that needs attention. So
Thank you.
the rest of it seems to be doing pretty well.
Right. Any discussion? Call roll.
Stonemeyer,
Aye.
Kiesling.
Aye.
Linkhammer,
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Right.
Aye.
That's approved 5-0. Next item is resolution 118-2024. Resolution approving pay app number 1 for the Meadows Cart Path Replacement 2024 project.
Yeah, update, Valentine Construction has been moving really well out at that site. However, they're not working this week, but they'll be back next week. They've completed the cart path for holes 10, 1 and 2. And also a little bit of the turn widening by number 8 green. So most of the rest of the remaining work is gonna be on the west end of the course. And then they do have the cart staging area to do yet, and then that short section from Wedgewood to the parking area. So they're moving along really well. With that being said, the amount for this pay request is $169,314.41. As mentioned, that's for cart path removals and replacement, and then they've also been working on some of the restoration with that as well. So unless you have questions, MSA recommends approval of this pay request.
Make a motion to accept resolution number 118 of 2024. Resolution approving pay application number 1 for the Meadows Cart Path Replacement Project.
Excuse me.
Second. Motion second, any other discussion?
How has that been working with the golfers, I guess? I mean, since they've been doing it in sections, have they been?
Well, it skips one hole, so Jim scores a lot better.
Well, they're like hole 10 plays a par 3 for a while. It's minimal, right? You're there every day and I haven't been there.
Yeah, Jeremy, Greg and Matt have been working really well with roping things off where it needs to be and just setting things up a little differently here and there. But I mean, it's been pretty quiet on my end from, Greg and Matt, and I've talked with them and they're really pleased with that.
There's blackout days. It's minimal.
Nobody's driven through the wet cement yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
I was wondering how.
Hey Nate, that temporary road or path that they're building so they can bring the heavy equipment in around 5. Who will pay for the reseeding of that grass? Is that on us?
That's included in the project.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, anything else? Call roll, please.
Stonemeyer,
Aye.
Kiesling.
Aye.
Linkhammer,
Aye.
Miller.
Aye.
Right.
Aye.
It's approved. Next is consideration of bids for the 2024 sludge removal project. We have resolution 119 of 2024, a resolution worthy contract for the 2024 sludge removal project.
Yeah, we opened bids right there at the end of July. We had 3 bids on this project. One of them really stands out. That was somebody from Kansas, I believe, with a very high dollar amount. But the other 2 were very much in line with what we had estimated and anticipated for this. Harder Custom Pumping was the low bid at $68,945. I believe they actually completed the sludge removal project for Asbury, not the last time, but the time before. I don't know at that time if there were really any issues, but, you know, it seems like that would be the bid to award, and that would be our recommendation.
Thank you. Motion?
Is there a number for this one or just, do we
Just
just?
skipping the 119.
Oh, I got a little. Oh,
Yeah, there's F and G. It's
Sorry.
good to make five.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve, resolution 119 of 2024.
I'll second.
Motion second. Discussion.
And if I need to say harder. than 68.
Yeah, it's harder custom pump.
Okay. Call roll, please.
Stonemeyer,
Aye.
Kiesling,
Aye.
Linkhammer,
I,
Miller,
Aye.
Price.
Aye.
Motion approved 5-0. Next is resolution 120, 2024, resolution approving demolition contract with Lansing Brothers.
Yeah, took a little bit to get him to have to sign the contract, but now I have the signed contract in, since one of the houses is already down. It's probably more of a formality, but, it's moving forward, rather well, so.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 120 of 2024.
I'll
Second.
second.
Motion second, discussion. Call roll.
Stonemeyer,
Aye.
Kiesling,
Aye.
Linkhammer,
I,
Miller,
Aye.
Price.
Aye.
That's approved. Then we have resolution 121 of 2024, a resolution approving change order number 1. Matthew, want to address both change orders at this time?
The change order number 1 is for, disconnecting the water and sewer services for both homes. That was not included. Although we thought we had Public Works do it as part of the contract. We got a bid as a change order from the contractor. And we felt it was a fair bid, and we're asking the contractor to do it part of change order number 1. Change order number 2, as far as trees and shrubs. This was something that wasn't included, but he brought it to our attention, and we thought it would be a good time while he is on site to address the tree removal.
Just a comment I have maybe on the tree removal is, without knowing exactly where the road is, I think what we've done in the past, when you give us the plans, you'll go through and tell us if there are trees we can save, because if there are some trees along there that potentially we could save, I'm not for cutting down trees if we don't have to.
All the trees to be rust are dead or dying.
Okay,
So,
all right,
and
that helps, that explains it.
we didn't take down good trees.
Okay.
We do have a motion on 121.
So moved.
second.
Any other discussion? This is for disconnect utilities. Call roll.
Stonemeyer,
Aye.
Kiesling,
Aye.
Linkhammer,
I,
Miller,
Aye.
Price.
Aye.
Item J is resolution 122 of 2024, resolution approving change order number 2 for the demolition contract.
Make a motion to accept resolution for 122 of 2024 for change order number 2. This was already described.
Second.
Motion second on 122. Any other discussion?
Just a quick question. Did we check with any tree services about what their charge would be for taking them out?
We pulled 2 out to have a local guy do. Otherwise, in my experience,
Reasonable?
they're
Okay,
very reasonable.
okay, thanks.
Anything else? Call roll.
Stonemeyer,
Aye.
Kiesling,
Aye.
Linkhammer,
I,
Miller,
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that's it. We'll go back to citizen input if anyone wishes to address the council.
Just a quick question, on the demolition. The people that live next to the house, when we get down to Radford, have we discussed that or let them know what the time frame is so that, I mean, they can kind of prepare themselves for trucks and stuff and trees going out?
Talking about
The one that,
Canfields.
yeah, that one.
She's on the call right now, so.
Yeah.
Okay,
What-
all
you
right,
can
good,
just-
never mind.
Well, when are they supposed to start on Radford? Next?
They
I think he's gonna start on
went in the
Radford.
backyard today on Radford.
It's imminent.
Okay.
Okay, so, any citizens input? Okay, I don't see any. You have police, GM, building commission report, motion to accept.
I'll make it a motion to accept the reports.
Second.
Second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, roundtable, Karen, will you start, please?
I'm good, thank you.
Us.
My only comment is that I'm not in favor of changing anything to do with the ATVs, even on a temporary basis. I've gotten too much flack from Dale in the past, and I'm not, I think it'd be too confusing to do it for just 2 days of 5 weekends, and so I'm not in favor of that. I will bring it back up.
Yes. Or no, sorry, Bob.
I'm gonna pass, Jim, thank you.
Thank you.
I thought that was a unique idea on how to possibly try that with the ATV UTVs that they presented. I thought it might present some discussion among the council though. But yeah, I would also just like to commend Public Works staff. I was contacted by a resident with a safety issue up at Chloe Creek, and they took care of it right away and did a great professional job taking care of it. Yes.
The only thing I was gonna say is probably the same thing that Craig said about the ATV. I thought that was a terrific idea that was come forward. I've been contacted via phone the last week and a half about the whole issue to bring it back up again. So I think the idea is a good one. Sorry, but that was my 2 cents on it.
All right, I hear from them periodically, and I've told them every time, and I'll publicly state it again, that I will not put it on the agenda until there's some event or something from the council themselves, put it on the agenda, and so that's where it stands right now. I'm not gonna do it, it's just support's not there, there's no reason to put it on the agenda, it's been up multiple times. I think it was exciting to see, we finally got some movement, a lot of, in the city with potential commercial development. We could see Luther Manor come back on the tax rolls potentially, and then we've got the DePaca building for sale and some property there, so some good upswings going on potentially in the city in the next 1 to 3 years. Something we haven't seen in a long time in terms of commercial.
Just as a form of update, anything new on raise?
No.
Okay, nothing there.
No contact.
anything- And then the Hales Mill issue with nothing there, and then there was one other one that I can't remember, but I can't remember.
Well, Hales Mill, that's on April or something, 2025, that's scheduled
Okay.
for. Okay, Beth, you have anything?
Yeah, I was just gonna echo, probably just stay tuned, then we'll probably get some future conversations. Dale is just, in terms of that, the beginning stages of his plans, and so you'll be involved in this process. And the reason I brought you in tonight, to hear these initial conversations and how his development is really kind of coming into what our update, our comprehensive plan is kind of working out.
He's very much aware of the roundabout and knows that we can't acquire property yet, right, Nate? Because of the funding source for the roundabout. So we can't really do anything formally, but he's very much aware, and there's no problem with what we have to give. All right, I have nothing else. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Keep it a long evening. Thank you for the pizza, Beth.
Yeah, I didn't know she's a good cook.
How was the cell phone transfer?
Huh?
How was the cell phone?
That was too easy.